Actually good. Ja Morant, another player, also happens to be the Grizzlies playing the Spurs tonight, but he's going to be out with a calf strain. That was announced yesterday. At least 2 weeks, grade 1. This injury took place, there you go, Saturday night against the Cavs. That was their 4th straight loss. This very grim in Memphis right now. 4-10 on the season. I don't know what you do with this team. Like, it's so early in the season, and yet it feels like there's no real hope. What do we do?
I mean, 4-10 is in a deep conference. It's not a great start, and now you're kind of your everything player who's already been in the headlines this year for outside noise goes down. And this is another interesting thing. Like, when a guy like his athleticism and explosiveness, you would think it'd be a different kind of move rather than like a collision like that. So a grade 1 is good news. So this isn't something
it's
that
great that it wasn't non-contact.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like the Halliburton where he goes to get back on
defense
defense and you see a pop or a strain. This is just more of like a bruise that will heal. And I think Ja should be back, quicker than Wemby, just given on the highlight in the report. But it's tough. You got Ja Morant, again, who were in the headlines all season long for the wrong reasons. Now he's out. They just get Zach Edey back. They found, lightning in a bottle with this rookie Coward. Besides that, there's been no real bright spots like on this team, and their free agent signing backup point guard Ty Jerome, he hasn't played at all this season yet, so now they would need him more than ever with Ja Morant out. Maybe he can get back in the rotation here, but it's just tough. It's when you look at the Western Conference, it's too good, it's too deep. So when you start off 4-10 like this, and now your best player goes out, it's a devastating blow for them.
That Ty Jerome is there. That's a weird transition.
He was great last year too,
I know.
he
get
needs
an
to get
opportunity
right
now for sure.
What happens to the trade value for Ja Morant, Lou? I mean, we're not going to see him for at least a couple more weeks, and everything that Chandler just mentioned. Like, what exactly is that plummeting?
I think it's still there. We're not going to discount the talent that Ja Morant has and how talented that he is. Obviously, the issues that he's dealing with the organization and dealing with his coach, now having a calf strain and having these injuries, it doesn't help his case at all. But once he gets back on the floor and you can see him be healthy, I think there's going to be some teams that's going to still call for him. And if I'm Memphis, I'm probably picking up the phone now and saying, you know what, this season looked like it's going down the drain really fast, and we're probably going to start over and redo this thing. And this gives them that opportunity to look at that and give it a real solid look to see what the future looks like with Ja Morant or without him.
Yeah, I think the trade value for him is pretty low right now, if I'm being honest with you. And I think it's
like,
just,
what is that? What's low?
I mean, listen,
think the same teams that liked him before yesterday still do.
I think just the way the game has shifted in general. Not even talking about any of the distractions, the outside noise that he's been through, any of that stuff. I think just the way the game has shifted and the way he plays and his athleticism, once he loses that and then shooting has never been his strength, I just think that is going to enable kind of his potential in years to come. There's not, I think the best basketball of Ja Morant, I think we may have already seen that just based on the style of play. And I don't think he's just going to develop and turn into an elite jump shooter overnight, and that's the way the league is going. So when I see these trade options, and
we have seen guys improve in categories that they didn't necessarily.
I don't agree.
I think right now when you look across the league and you look at all these guards, I think there's a lot more elite scoring, shooting guards than him, and that's the way the league has been going the last couple of years.
I think there is still a window for Ja Morant.
Oh, I'm not saying he's done by any chance. I am just saying.
But even still, look at Brunson. He needed a new start, right? He needed a new start to be who he is. Halliburton, he needed a new start to become who he is. Look at Shea. Even though he got traded, new start to become who he is. This is an opportunity for him to go somewhere else. Let me get a fresh start. Let me find my joy again. Let me find that groove, because that's a real thing. Sometimes people don't understand, joy, you make millions of dollars. But in the workplace, when you go somewhere every day, you want to feel good and you want to feel confident in your abilities and in the scenario that you're in. And I think that's important for Ja Morant at this point of his career. So if he can get a fresh start, I think his name is right back in that conversation with everybody else.
I think he needs that fresh start. I think he needs it. You could just tell his demeanor, his attitude. Even I know it's media, and most players don't like doing media in the first place, but he's frustrated and he's not happy. He even said the joy word.
Joy is a big word.
The Jimmy Butler thing, again, like that, he seems miserable. So again, when you combine all the stuff that he's went through, now the health issues, now losing games, now he doesn't really, hit it off with the new head coach, his opportunity, his role. He's not in the game at the end of game situations. Yeah. These things are now kind of compiling into a disaster for him. And again, I just think it needs to, fresh start. He needs a fresh scenery, but it's also on him to kind of be that leader and to be that player and to be that professional moving forward and not allow any of that other stuff question his on-the-court play, because when he plays, he's great, and he's still must-watch TV, and he's still one of the more entertaining players in the league. I just think the way the league is going with more shooting and outside perimeter shooting, it doesn't do him any favors.
Are there any mumblings? Like, do we know how the rest of the team has sort of taken to the new coach? Obviously, everyone's eyes are always on Ja and his relationship, but have we heard anything coming out of Memphis?
I haven't, but you would think on a team like that, right? Like, they had to have gone to like a Jaren Jackson and a Ja and said, hey, you're somewhat okay with this.
But didn't they
right?
also not interview the two guys that everyone was
Well,
like,
that comes with winning. Like, you gotta earn.
4-10 never feels good.
Yeah, but also in the past, you gotta earn the right to have a opinion about personnel changes and who's gonna coach the team and all of those things. I don't think they've put together enough of a winning culture for those guys to be the end-all be-all as far as decision making goes about who's gonna coach the team and who's gonna be around. Now, maybe has there been a conversation or this and that? Sure, but you look at the last coach, right? You got to focus on that. So once you get one coach fired, you know that after that, we start looking at players. We don't look at the next coach. It goes coach, then players, not coach, then players. So right now, the players are on the hot seat right now. Those are the guys that's being looked at, especially when you're not winning basketball games.
All right. Well, Paul George, this was